Welcome to the Finding Mojo podcast. Watch and listen to conversations about humble beginnings, struggles, and victories.
Maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm where I am right now, because I'm kind of stubborn. So no, I gotta do this.
Character development really did start when I cosplayed. You bump into troubles when you're younger, and then you realize, oh, I did wrong.
Featuring a healthy melange of guests from different walks of life.
We're trying to find ourselves. We're trying to land our feet on the ground and be part of society. Who are we in society? How can we be useful?
When it comes to youth, I don't know, if you're like 18 years old or 21, 22 years old, just go love a person, love what you do. When you get hurt, just accept it. It's all part of growing up.
Be inspired, get creative, and find your own mojo. The Finding Mojo podcast, powered by BSA Solutions, the place where bright minds meet. A certified great place to work. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Finding Mojo podcast. This podcast is brought to you by our friends from BSA Solutions, and we are proud to announce that we are the recipient of the Great Place to Work for 2 years in a row now. So, yay, congratulations to us. My name is Nico. On the podcast is someone I've just gotten to know just a few days ago, and she has a very interesting story to tell. She's going to be talking about is something that's beyond my scope. It's time to get comfortable with the uncomfortable, because for myself, this is a topic that I'm a little interested in, but then I have no one to talk to about it. That's why it's perfect that you're here. She co-founded Web3 and Web3 Cebu, that is. And we're going to be talking about NFTs, blockchains, all these and more in the next few minutes. So please help me welcome. We have Raine Laluna on the podcast.
Thank you, Nico. Thanks for having me, and I'm excited. I know there's a lot to take about Web3 in the industry, but I hope I can share a lot for today that's valuable too.
I know that she has a lot of information for us, especially those who have a little idea about Web3, blockchains and NFTs and what have you. But for those who actually have great information about it, well, it's good to know that you have a fellow right here. So this is going to be fun. Let's start talking about your humble beginnings, especially when you were still, in your elementary, high school, college days. I know Web3 did not exist yet. So what were your interests back then?
Yes, Web3 is very new. I remember when I was in elementary, I used to writing stories. I was once a writer for Wattpad, and
you did?
I did, yes. And the reason why I got into freelance writing was because one of my stories when I wrote when I was in college was actually paid, and that gave me an idea of, oh, what is this? Why are they paying me? And I searched about that on Facebook, and Facebook that time, freelancing is not that big. And I remember that was 2018. I just got my first job. And then I saw that, oh, there's like content writing. And I met someone from Baguio that's looking for a writer. And I say, hey, can I apply? And I think that's 50 cents per word. And I remember that because of it, I was able to earn like my first job. There's no AI yet before,
okay.
Right? So I have to write everything down.
Right.
I have to actually use tools for grammar, because I'm not really that good in grammar back then. And I remember that I worked for like 9 hours. So that's 9 p.m. until I finished that one in the morning. So I didn't really sleep a lot that time, because I wanted to finish it. And I got like 2,000 pesos. And then that's when I think, wait, I earned 2,000 pesos for 9 hours,
right,
while I work for 9 hours without not excluded the transportation. Mm-hmm. That is only 600 pesos.
Correct.
That will give me a perspective of what is this industry. And that's the reason why I got into freelancing. But prior to that, I used to really just write and read books. And I did radio broadcasting when I was in elementary. I was a sports writer. And I was a Damath player as well.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Good time.
I was grade one until I was Damath champion in our division in our city. And I got into regional as well. So that is until I got into high school. So when I graduated college, there's no Damath, but I was, I knew that I can do things, but I'm not really sure what path would I take. So, like I said, I wanted to do mass communication as a course, but it was difficult to go to college before because we're not really rich. So I got a scholarship, which is the OST, and that got me into industrial engineering. I was able to study in USJR.
So think about that, industrial engineering, and then you got into Wattpad, wasn't able to get to mass comm, but then because of IE and because of your school, that paved the way for you to figure out what you really wanted to do in life. Now, if you were to pursue your degree, what kind of jobs are you supposed to get?
Well, I did pursue my degree for 2 years. So I got into continuous improvement engineering for a furniture company and as well product line supervisor for a in maps. But if I were to pursue, really, I always wanted to work and that allows creativity for me. So when I was in college, I told my professor that I wanted to get into the marketing or advertising because I don't know how to create like draw so good,
Right.
but I like imagining things, how this should be done like this. So I wanted to be like on a creative strategy type of a job, but I think everything happens for a reason.
Right
so
on.
right now I just discovered that when you build a community, it's like you're building a lot creativity within you,
That's right.
and that resonates to your community. In fact, one of our community members that just got into our community in February, he's now in Malaysia for Solana Impact Summit, so I'm very proud of
Wow.
him. Don, shout out to you. So yeah.
It's great that you mentioned that you were able to get to your industry with those 2 years, and then from there you got to experience what it is to be in a job that's really within the scope of the 5 years, right? That you're studying for. So that's good. You have already given a lot of time, or at least that good amount of time for your degree. Now let's talk about Web3.
Yeah.
After graduation, how long did it take for you to get to Web3?
I graduated in 2018. I got into Web3 really, that I got immersed in 2022. That's 4 years.
So 4 years. Now, let's give everyone a good idea or a good grasp of Web3, because personally, I don't really know what Web3 is. All I know is that it's part of the digital space, and you get to do a lot of business right there, and you get to meet or create a good community within that space. But give us like the lowdown. What is Web3?
Well, Web3 is like what people said. It's like the future internet. But I'm not gonna talk about these kinds of jargon because what I'm gonna sharing is how I understood it, why I have been here. Because honestly, a disclaimer, I'm not so good at the tech terms.
Okay.
So I got into Web3 is a way, for example, in Web 1, we have this transitioning of internet. So internet, then Web 1, Web 2, then Web 3.
So internet is the basics, like you
Yes,
go to a website, connect, and all that stuff. Okay.
But it started with Web 1 when websites are created. It's just static, so you cannot interact with the internet, right? We used to just read Wikipedia, but we cannot comment on Wikipedia. We cannot post something, right? And if we relate that into our industry in business, back then, people search on Google, paste it, print it, flyers. The ones that becoming most for marketing is the flyers, right? So what we get into internet is to consume information only and then use that in business for marketing like flyers.
Right.
And then there comes Web 2, where right now you no longer just read, but you interact. This is where era of social media.
Got it.
All right.
I got it.
So now that you can read, now you interact. So when Facebook was created, people are posting something about themselves.
Correct.
So they use the internet, the information, post it in the internet, and everybody see about you.
Yes, and then you can comment and everything.
Exactly.
Got it.
And in the business side, this is where online marketing dominated. This is where e-commerce were
Oh,
created.
okay,
right?
got it.
And from physical stores, people are getting into the online stores.
Right. So a lot of businesses now, they have an online presence.
Yes, and they're in the internet right now.
Correct.
And now with Web3, this is where we could have this decentralization where no one is like a middleman. So what I mean by that is that right now with Web3, you cannot just read, you can also just interact, and now you can own. So you own data.
Oh.
So this is where you monetize your own data. Because what happened in Web2, if you notice, we get a lot of ads on our Facebook.
That's right.
the algorithm. You just search food and you get a lot of recommendations
Right.
about food.
Anything you search on that search tab, the next results or the next things that you see on your feeds is going to be exactly what you typed in.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you know why? You know why is that?
Because your information is shared, I guess.
Your information is being sold by big companies to advertisers.
Oh,
So this
got it.
is where your data, it's not who you own. For example, I'm Facebook company and I got your data. I sell it to this advertiser so they can market to you. And
Got it.
Who's monetizing it? It's not us, but Facebook.
Facebook, yeah.
And the thing here, this data of ours is not our own. So when Facebook shut down, remember I think that was March when Facebook was literally shut down.
Right.
We cannot access everything.
True.
Right?
That is
Because
true.
it's centralized, the owner is a big company. But in Web3, they cannot do that. We own our data. That's why there's play to earn with Axie Infinity. We have to move to earn. We have all this information that we can utilize, monetize. That's why in marketing here, it's more of there's like an earning side. At the same time, it's decentralized. Like it's a peer-to-peer transaction.
Okay.
And that's why they use crypto, right?
So that means if I use this service, I actually get something from it.
Yes.
And not the other way around.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we get benefit of our own data, and we got the ownership, and at the same time, we also like the things here is we own it. For example, in the gaming, so it's in the Web2, the gaming companies own your assets, but in the Web3, you own your assets. So if the company shuts down, you still have the assets.
Interesting. Now you mentioned you also use crypto, and crypto is basically your currency.
Yes.
In the digital space. Now, that's another topic in itself because
I know.
a lot of people go invest in crypto and they do a little business on the side and then they grow their portfolio. Some do NFTs.
Yes.
Let's give everyone a little breakdown. What are NFTs and what are
Crypto.
what's crypto?
Okay. Crypto, a lot of people say it's a scam, but you can only have it as a scam if you allow yourself to be scammed,
Okay.
right? So crypto in the use case, real world use case, is that we use this as a currency to allow peer-to-peer transaction.
Okay.
So one example, for example, we have a lot of relatives abroad that want to send us money, or even clients, transactions. BSA is using that, right?
Correct.
But right now, when I send money, $1,000 to your account, it will take days, right? Because there's a bank that will approve or reject the transaction from the sender. And then there's another third party before it will go to your account. So that's why it's taking days.
Yeah, it's going to take time. Yeah.
Now, in crypto, remove that, and it's going to be sent to you in seconds or a minute. And in a very low fee. You know why there's a big fee? For example, PayPal, because there's a lot of this middleman. That's why they cut a lot of big fees. But when you use crypto, it's less than peso fee.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. And PayPal has their own stable coin in crypto right now. So we call that PayPal USD. Yes.
Oh, even they.
Even they now. And they're launching that on Solana blockchain because it's slow fees. So there's a lot of this, tech innovation.
Here's the thing with crypto, and I got to receive a lot of info about crypto back in the pandemic.
Yeah.
Back when everyone was on their phones. So I got to see a lot of influencers who created their own coins, their own tokens and everything. They have their own NFT projects, and some of them, they're like fly by night. Once it's out, and then what's the term again when they drop it and then
Drop it,
um
pump and dump.
there pump and
Pump and
dump.
dump, I
That's the
see.
term. What's pump and dump?
As I dig further the crypto space because usually I was just working here,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I got into crypto really understanding the fundamentals. So the reason why there's a pump and dump, it's because the more people buys the token,
Okay.
the more it pumps.
Ah.
So it actually makes the supply less and less available to the public, right?
Oh, okay, okay.
But when the people sells it, it dumps.
But who gets to do the selling? The people, or is it like the ones who
Okay.
created the
So
the
what
coin?
happens before a token is being really launched publicly? There's what we call like seed round, KOL round.
Oh, yeah, where, like, everyone gets to,
everyone gets to buy pre-sale.
Right.
So when I buy in the pre-sale, for example, $1,000, that's like 1 million tokens. But in public, $1,000 is just 100,000 tokens, for example, because it increases the value. So because I bought in pre-sale and now it's launched in the public and people try to buy that and capture that price, more and more people buy in the public, it makes the value increase.
Right.
And me being able to buy it ahead, I can sell it because I have more tokens, it dumps.
Got it. and that's when like a lot of people actually get scammed of their money and everything. But then, like you said, it only becomes a scam when you allow yourself to get scammed.
Exactly.
So it's a different story in itself. Now, what's an NFT?
Okay, an NFT is non-fungible token. So here it's like what they call the future like digital ownership. So what I mean by that is that each of these NFTs have this rare, like, it doesn't have really the same. So what I mean is that, let's say for example, let's say land title.
Okay, a land title.
Okay,
Okay,
a
got
land
it.
title.
Okay.
What happens is when we have no more, like when we have this land title, it got lost, you still have to undergo different processes to get that, right?
Free to get the land
Yes.
title. Yes.
So when someone asks you, what's your proof that you're the owner of this? Oh, I still have to process my land title. So what happens? It's either you don't close the deal or it's either you get, right?
And if that land title goes to the wrong person's hands, that piece of land may not be yours anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, what's the best way for you to prove that it's yours? So if you allow that land title to be put into the blockchain, so the technology is blockchain, so it becomes a proof of ownership. It becomes digital, your digital ownership of your land title, because anything that you put in the blockchain, you cannot delete it. You cannot, that's a proof that, okay, your land title is in the blockchain. Oh, this is really yours.
And so it has this a unique encryption or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so it serves as a way, it's like a proof of ownership that you own it. So another example of NFTs is, there's like rarity in each of this. Let's say, BYC. It's like the monkey that's very expensive.
Oh yeah. I saw that.
You saw that, right? It's worth millions.
Right.
Why? It's because they integrate several benefits to it. So one, if you have this NFT, let's say this yellow monkey, it has a rarity, something like a unique part of this NFT, and then this NFT also holds, you get access to a business network. So it can be your status symbol, it can be your access to benefits, and there's a lot of use cases. So it is your proof that you belong into this community or you own this asset.
So like once you have this asset, there are other benefits that come along with it, maybe a discount. It could
Yes.
be, you could be using this hotel.
Yep.
Because if you have this NFT, you get access to this hotel,
Exactly.
get access to these services.
Exactly.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
It is.
That's really cool.
So it's another thing is that NFTs in the future are gonna be used as a loyalty program. Like Starbucks have their own NFTs. So those that are, like, for example, I keep buying this product, but what's in it for me? Why do I have to? Why still buy this? So with NFTs, it serves that you're like a loyal to this product. And because of this, as a company, in order for me to increase your engagement and to be more loyal rather than going to competitors,
Right.
I could airdrop you something through NFTs, whether that's a token or a rebates.
When you say airdrop, this is like the iPhone thing,
Yeah,
right?
it's something that's gonna be sent to you.
Sweet. That is that's amazing. So again, this is something it's future proof because it already exists.
Exactly.
It already exists. So this technology already exists. This is really cool. Raine, I did some digging. I was able to check on some of your Facebook posts. And it looks like now you're hustling and grinding with, speaking engagements, which is really fun. 'Cause, we talked about this off cam. You just got into the groove of like talking to people because of Web3. Now, I'd like to know the people's general consensus of Web3. I know Pinoys. I know there's a good community of or a chunk of Pinoys who are really interested with NFTs, blockchains, and what have you. But what's the general consensus? Are they comfortable with Web3, with the digital space? Are they a little iffy about it? Well, how are people responding?
From the way I observe the market we have here in the Philippines, for the global perspective, Philippines is a hot market because they're viewed as a consumer market. So what I mean by consumer market, we are the ones who are buying their products, right? So for Axie Infinity to blow up here, a lot of people invested, right?
A lot of people, like, especially during the pandemic,
Exactly.
everyone was all on Axie Infinity. I was able to see it a lot on social media, yeah.
Exactly. So it takes one big thing in Philippines for people to adopt. So they see Philippines as a hot market, but it's a consumer side. So a lot of here the narrative is that we wanted to earn money. So the people get into the crypto trading, right? The people become gullible of this project because they thought it will change their lives. So and a lot are more exposed in crypto as a trading thing, but only not a big portion are knowing the exact industry, which is Web3, which is I'm more focusing in. So if we say, if they're comfortable, as long as they earn, yes.
Correct. that is correct. Because the mentality is what's in it for me. If I can't make money out of it, why am I going to be here? Yeah,
exactly.
that makes sense.
So in terms of numbers, I don't know, but more and more, there's more adoption in terms of something that benefits people. So whether that's airdrop, so people get to get 6,000, 6 digits for just participating in helping market the project.
Wow.
So and you interact with that project for like several weeks, you get an airdrop to your wallet. So some students I know got like 6 digits, like $2,000, $3,000 for free.
But the $2,000, $3,000, that's like you convert that to Philippine money.
Yes.
But that's still in crypto, right?
That's still in crypto. So if you convert that one to what we call the fiat, which we call it in the really what token, like the peso, you get it in your wallet. But some people try to hold it in a hope that it will still increase.
Right.
So when you don't have the right knowledge when it dumps, then your token will be dumped as well.
Right. So it's I think that's what you just said was really absolutely correct. We are consumers. Pinoy consume a lot of what's given to them on social media. That I mean, come on, whatever the trend is, I think Pinoys would try their best to catch on. And it's also good that, we are doing our best, or at least, trying to get into that digital space. But it would definitely help if we have like people like you, Raine, who's able to educate us about good practices or best advice on how to take care of your money, because that's still money in the first place.
I know,
what
yes.
I mean? Some people get duped, and this happens on a daily basis. And I hope that the money you lose is just, money that you're not using for the meantime. But because some people they would put in all their savings.
I know.
and that's crazy.
And
That's,
people quit their job during Axie Infinity.
right. Oh yes, a lot of people like quit their jobs just to do that, and then does it still exist? Axie Infinity?
Axie Infinity still exists, but not getting the hype because not getting the hype, especially here in the Philippines, because it's no longer being marketed as play to earn, but rather play and earn. So you can now earn when you play really in a different. Before it's like when I just play, I get
money.
a lot. Yes.
Right. There you go. Now, let's talk about this. The current obstacles that Filipinos face with digital currency. Because personally, I don't know. Like, if I get, like, how much money should I put in so I can have, like, Bitcoin? And if I do want to use the money, like, where do I get the money? How do I, like, withdraw my money? Like, how do you go about that?
Well, for information of everyone, I started in 2022, right, as a social media manager for an NFT, and before I really don't have any idea how. But the good thing here is that my salary was in crypto. So yes.
Yes, I was gonna ask you about that, because with this, now that you're in the space, like, how do you spend? Do you still have money in your bank, or are you now spending in crypto? How do you go about your, like, daily expenses?
I have money in the bank, but I also have in the crypto.
Okay.
But before, I remember, I still don't have any idea what crypto is, and I used the crypto to try to buy some tokens. I don't have an idea.
Yeah.
And then I remember that, like, I think it took me like 150,000 pesos in total money, because from all the salary I got, I invested it to SLP, and then I didn't know anything, and it crashed up to the, like, 30,000 pesos, and then become 20,000 pesos. So I just got, that was 2022 of March, and then I left the trading or the crypto, or I didn't open my Binance account for like more than a year. I only opened it during like this March of this year when the SLP pumped again. So what I did is I diversified it to other tokens. So I had to get back again. So I have a little like better understanding of the crypto. So imagine more than a year I had it hold
Right,
when
on hold.
opening, right? So going back to your question, you can actually choose if you wanted to really invest. There's what we call that you invest what you can afford to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mhm.
Don't ever put all your eggs in one basket. You know, you make sure that the money that you invest on things is really spare money.
Exactly.
It's not money that you actually need, like, right now.
I know, yeah. So it's like when you put something in the crypto space, it's like it's no longer it's like you need to forget that money.
Because it is a risk.
It is a risk.
It is a risk.
Unless you put that into a stable coin. So a stable
What's
coin,
a stable coin?
it's like USDT, USDC. It's like pegged by the US dollar. So whenever the market crashed down, because it's stable, it doesn't really crash. So
I see.
it's like you have US dollars, but in the crypto space, you can have it as a USD.
So it's regulated, so to speak.
Different countries have their own regulations, so it's still under process. But going back is that you can choose if you want to invest, like you wanted to start. Some people start at $2,
Okay.
$1.
Yeah. Like low risk.
Low risk, because higher risk, high return.
Right.
And I remember when you cash that out, there's like you use an exchange, and then you go to the P2P and exchange that into merchant. There's they saying how much is converted, then you just use the transaction and then got into your Gcash.
Is it I heard before, like, you can if you have Bitcoin, you can, like, withdraw or get the money through 7-Eleven, is that right? Or you can purchase, like, you can use Bitcoin to purchase at 7-Eleven and all these things.
I think depends on the merchants, because when you what happens is mostly they use an exchange, several exchanges like Binance, OKX, the central exchanges. So it's partnered, for example, from Gcash. You send you are going to go to the, like, there's that P2P
Oh yeah, there's a P2P
yes,
option.
option, and then you just have to buy,
Mhm.
and then there's like a third party, like a merchant that's connected, like have a Gcash. So you're gonna like send them to this account the money, and then they send you the crypto. So it's the same when you withdraw it. So you're going to sell it, and then you send it to, they will send it to your account, and then you sell what you have tokens inside. So that's another like a cash in out and cash out. Another thing is that I remember with the community, we had like I know someone, a founder that created a meme coin, like a shit coin.
Yeah.
This is very like so big right now in the narrative. But I remember this person, this student, doesn't have any much idea of crypto. So I did a giveaway of like this token, and then I remember this $100,000 and 100,000 worth of token for this meme coin is equivalent to $10 that time. And then he got it because he answered a question, and he used the $10, like he got it from giveaway. He used the $10 to learn crypto, to trade with other meme coins. And I just heard that after March, like right now it's June, he made it to 500,000 plus.
Sweet. So what you're saying is it depends on how that coin like grows, and then once it grows, it could exponentially like be like 10 times, 20 times, like it's your actual value when you invested on it. Wow.
Like for example, this meme, I was given 1.5 million, and I sold it at a total of $400. But 2 months later, I didn't really, get involved much into this coin. I just hear that the 100,000 token is equivalent to $300. 1.5 million was supposed to be $6,000 or $4,000. But I sold it at $400 because because I'm not really that much knowledgeable yet with the crypto thing.
So here's the thing, with this space, it does exist. It is future proof. There's a lot of risks involved.
Yes.
So you have to make sure you do your due diligence, study what you want to invest on, right there. But I love the idea though of Web3. I love the idea that companies don't really get access to a lot of our information, and then once you use the space, you actually can learn and earn at the same time.
Exactly.
That's great. That is great, man. I'm learning a lot of things. I'm absorbing a lot of information as we're going along. Yeah, this is really awesome, Raine. Before we go, I know a lot of those who are viewers and those who listen to the podcast. We all come from different backgrounds. We've had our share of triumphs or defeats and the struggles that we go along. BSA Solutions, this company, mind you, we started when the pandemic hit, 2020, and we are still here and we are thriving, and that speaks volumes to how the company is doing. Now, a lot of millennials, they haven't figured out what they really want to do, like which steps to take, which direction to go. Let's in your own words, mate, can you give us a little advice on how to find their footing in this corporate jungle?
Coming from experience, the best thing that I can really advise is do not limit yourself. So what I mean by that is, of course, when you take risks, to go out of your comfort zone is where you see bigger opportunities. Right? So if you limit yourself and tell yourself that this is only I can do, then you wouldn't know what will happen to you next, and you're going to be stuck in that position that you have. So instead of like trying to put yourself in a way that you can't do this, try to explore something. Go back to what interests you when you were a child. Because I remember I recently asked my father, like, who I am when I was a kid, and he said, when you were a kid, I sometimes get frustrated because you're not yet done with your assignment. You're already teaching others.
Okay, okay.
And it's what happening to me that even I don't understand yet the industry or even what I'm doing, I already share it with the others.
So you're
So
a
it's like-
facilitator. You pretty much start with a lot of things, and then you influence people too.
Yes.
So you're your own influencer, like back in the day, back when
I think
influencers.
so.
You were an influencer before influencers existed.
I think so.
Interesting.
And then I just realized that, remember when I said I wanted to go at Muslim, I love writing and all this stuff. And thanks right now with public speaking, I get to I get connected with media, with all this. I even contribute article for Philippine Star. I got to become speaker for in Manila for the Web3 and gaming. I mean, these are the things that I used to dream when I was a child. But in order for me to get here, I have to quit something that limits me. And that is in my work before in manufacturing. And there comes a big risk as well, because when I got into freelancing, I have to undergo more than 10 jobs. Imagine, would you believe I taught English for Japanese? I also have to wake up 2 a.m. to teach English to SPED children. I handled several VAs. I did series of this. And then when I got into Web3, I still have to figure out what is something that I like. It's only like 2023 of last year when I started to get like speaking engagement, and I have to put out myself out there to show up. So it's really about you don't limit yourself. You take the risk. And then be comfortable of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, you have to be open-minded of what's the trend, because the trend will definitely be influencing your next move.
Exactly, especially with your space. You have to know what's out there. You have to know what people are clamoring for.
Exactly.
And you have to be at the forefront of things.
Exactly. And one of the things right now that's trend, it's AI. And people are losing jobs because of AI and blaming the AI. Why is that? But the thing here, have you even upskill yourself so that AI couldn't replace you?
That is true. That is true. That's why we have to make sure that we give ourselves a lot of time to learn and relearn our usual tasks, because AI it helps us too. Come on, even with the jobs we have here, even with the podcast, AI really does help us. Speeding up our processes. So there, wow, that was amazing. Raine, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. I definitely enjoyed that, and we have to, of course, give you a little token of our appreciation for coming through.
Thank you so much.
This is from BSA Solutions.
Thank you
so much.
BSA.
Alrighty then. And that's about it for us here at the Finding Mojo podcast. This episode is brought to you by our friends from BSA Solutions. We are the recipient of the Great Place to Work Award for 2 years now. This has been Nico. Take care, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye. Welcome to the Finding Mojo podcast. Watch and listen to conversations about humble beginnings, struggles, and victories.
Maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm where I am right now, because I'm kind of stubborn. So no, I gotta do this.
Character development really did start when I cosplayed. You bump into troubles when you're younger, and then you realize, oh, I did wrong.
Featuring a healthy melange of guests from different walks of life.
We're trying to find ourselves. We're trying to land our feet on the ground and be part of society. Who are we in society? How can we be useful?
When it comes to youth, I don't know, if you're like 18 years old or 21, 22 years old, just go love a person, love what you do. When you get hurt, just accept it. It's all part of growing up.
Be inspired, get creative, and find your own mojo. The Finding Mojo podcast, powered by BSA Solutions, the place where bright minds meet. A certified great place to work.